Hello everyone. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, then subscribe to this channel, like and share. Logician of force, governmental issues, and authoritarianism, Hannah Arendt, brought into the world on October 14, 1906, in Linden, Germany, presently some portion of Hanover, was one of the most compelling political scholars of the 20th century. Her work on the idea of force, authority, and tyranny keeps on resounding in contemporary conversations of legislative issues and morals. Arendt's scholarly excursion, formed by her encounters as a Jewish lady in Nazi Germany. Her break to the U.S., and her ensuing vocation as an essayist and mastermind, offers significant experiences into the intricacies of current political life. Early life and scholarly, Arendt was naturally introduced to a common Jewish family and experienced childhood in Königsberg, East Prussia, presently Kaliningrad, Russia. Her initial training was saturated with the old-style custom, and she fostered an enthusiasm for reasoning early in life. Arendt's scholarly excursion took her to probably the most lofty colleges in Germany, including the College of Marburg, where she concentrated on under the existentialist logician Martin Heidegger, with whom she had a mind-boggling and powerful relationship. Heidegger's lessons significantly influenced Arendt, especially his accentuation on the existential parts of human existence. Notwithstanding, their relationship became stressed because of Heidegger's connection with the Nazi Party. An improvement that tangled profoundly with Arendt's Jewish character and moral convictions. Regardless of this, Heidegger's impact on her reasoning was evident, especially in her attention on the idea of being and the human condition. Subsequent to leaving Marburg, Arendt proceeded with her investigations at the College of Heidelberg under Karl Jaspers, a savant whose work on existentialism and the way of thinking of history further molded her scholarly standpoint. Jaspers' mentorship was vital in Arendt's improvement as a scholar, empowering her to investigate the crossing points of reasoning, history, and legislative issues. Exile and the development of tyranny, the ascent of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi system during the 1930s denoted a defining moment in Arendt's life. As a Jewish scholarly, she confronted expanding mistreatment in Germany, in the long run being compelled to escape the country in 1933. Arendt originally went to Paris, where she became associated with Zionist exercises, attempting to help Jewish displaced people and bringing issues to light about the risks of hostile anti-Semitism. During this time, she started to foster the thoughts that would later become vital to her investigation of tyranny. In 1941, with the Nazi control of France, Arendt and her significant other, Heinrich Blücher, escaped to the U.S., where they got comfortable New York City. It was in the U.S. that Arendt really made her mark as an essayist and scholar. She started composition for different distributions and turned out to be important for a lively scholarly local area that included other European émigrés and American erudite people. Arendt's encounters as an evacuee and her perceptions of the unfurling revulsions of the Holocaust profoundly impacted her work. She looked to comprehend the idea of despotism, a type of government that she considered unmistakable from different types of oppression and fascism. Her fundamental work, The Starting Points of Despotism, 1951, is a significant investigation of the roots and components of extremist systems, zeroing in on Nazi Germany and Stalinist Russia. In this work, Arendt contends that authoritarianism is described by the total mastery of the person by the state, accomplished through methodical dread and misleading publicity. She looks at how these systems control philosophy and utilize mass developments to make an aggregating political reality that demolishes the differentiation among public and confidential life. Arendt's examination of autocracy stays one of the main commitments to political hypothesis and keeps on being significant in conversations of dictatorship and political radicalism. Arendt's investigation of political life reached out past the investigation of tyranny. In The Human Condition, 1958, she offers a more extensive philosophical reflection on the idea of human exercises and their importance in people in general and confidential circles. Arendt recognizes three major kinds of human action: work, and activity. Work, in Arendt's view, alludes to the organic cycles vital for endurance. Work alludes to the making of strong merchandise and the change of the world. and activity is the movement that happens inside the domain of human undertakings, especially in the open arena. Activity, for Arendt, is the most significant and unmistakably human action since it includes association with others and the potential for making something new and eccentric. Arendt's accentuation on activity and the open arena features her confidence in the significance of political commitment and the potential for aggregate navigation. She contends that the public domain, where people meet up to ponder and act, is fundamental for the thriving of human opportunity and the acknowledgement of a significant life. This viewpoint challenges that governmental issues is only a necessary evil and on second thought considers it to be a fundamental piece of human life. In her work on Upheaval, 1963, Arendt further investigates the idea of political activity, zeroing in on the American and French unrests. She differentiates these two verifiable occasions to look at the potential for progressive activity to achieve authentic political opportunity. Arendt commends the American transformation for its accentuation on the foundation of another political request in light of standards of opportunity and law and order. While she censures the French unrest for declining into savagery and fear, at last deceiving its unique goals. The cliché of wickedness, one of Arendt's most dubious and broadly examined works is Eichmann in Jerusalem, a report on the triviality of wickedness, 1963. The book depends on Arendt's perceptions of the preliminary of Adolf Eichmann, a high-positioning Nazi authority liable for sorting out the coordinated factors of the Holocaust. Arendt's report, initially distributed in The New Yorker, started extraordinary discussion and debate because of her portrayal of Eichmann and her appearance on the idea of malevolence. Arendt instituted the expression, the cliché of wickedness to depict Eichmann, contending that he was not an immense figure driven by well-established scorn or zeal, but instead a civil servant who did orders without scrutinizing their ethical quality. She recommended that Eichmann's activities were the consequence of negligence and an absence of moral reflection, instead of an intentional obligation to evil. Arendt's examination tested ordinary understandings of insidious and brought up significant issues about liability, responsibility, and the idea of human organization. Her work incited a warmed reaction, especially from Jewish people group, who felt that Arendt's depiction of Eichmann minimized the detestations of the Holocaust and the enduring of its casualties. Notwithstanding the discussion, Eichmann in Jerusalem stays an essential work in the investigation of morals, equity, and the brain research of fiendishness. Heritage and impact. Hannah Arendt's commitments to political hypothesis, reasoning, and morals lastingly affect contemporary idea. Her work keeps on being considered and bantered by researchers across disciplines, and her thoughts stay significant in conversations of force, authority, tyranny, and the idea of political activity. Arendt's accentuation on the significance of the open arena and aggregate activity has affected banters on majority rule system, common society, and basic freedoms. Her examination of despotism has given a system to figuring out the elements of present-day dictator systems, and her appearance on the idea of evil have reshaped conversations of moral obligation and equity. Arendt's scholarly inheritance is additionally set apart by her emphasis on the significance of methodical consideration about political and moral issues. She trusted that the capacity to think and judge autonomously is fundamental for the protection of opportunity and the counteraction of oppression. Her work moves us to face the intricacies of present-day life and to connect insightfully and dependably with our general surroundings. Conclusion. Hannah Arendt was a mastermind who tried to grasp the most squeezing political and moral inquiries of her time. Her work, established in her encounters of exile, mistreatment, and the repulsions of tyranny, offers a significant investigation of the idea of force, authority, and human activity. Through her works, Arendt has passed on an enduring heritage that proceeds to rouse and provoke us to contemplate the world we live in and the qualities that guide our lives. Thank you for watching.